a scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard. And
Sophie Cunningham, oh man, I got to tell you, this victory, it came with a big price.
Look at today's game where Sophie Cunningham went out in the first half. And that was such a huge blow for the Indiana Fever because Sophie Cunningham has been somebody, she has been the glue of this team since Caitlin has been out.
Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty player.
I'd say there's a near 0% chance Sophie Cunningham plays again this year.
The basketball scene has really taken a wild turn for the Indiana Fever, and it feels like the damage might be long-lasting. In a shocking moment, Sophie Cunningham got knocked out in a way that left everyone, fans and teammates alike, stunned. What began as just another game against the struggling Connecticut Sun spiraled into chaos when Bria Hartley came charging in like it was a football play, crashing right into Sophie's knee. Indiana's toughest player went down hard, and the whole arena went silent.
Shay went at Sophie Cunningham early, and considering this is Bria Hartley, I'm not ruling out that she jumped through her knee. Considering who it is, I'm not. Like, Bria Hartley has been ejected multiple times. She's yanked Angel by the hair. This is the Connecticut Sun. This is a team that have jumped through players' knees before.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what it was at first when I saw her went down. So let's break down the play where Sophie got hurt. So as you can see here, Bria Hartley is going baseline. Kelsey Mitchell is guarding her, and then Sophie comes over to help. And then Bria Hartley falls on her leg, and Sophie immediately grabs like her shin area.
Bria Hartley has had dirty plays all season. You got to know who we're talking about. Bria Hartley is the same girl that pulled Angel Reese out of there by her ponytail just last game, I think 2 days ago. She pulls Becca Allen by her head to the floor, and Ariel Atkins goes over there to protect her teammate. Bria Hartley has been doing dirty things for all season. She's been a dirty player.
Seeing Sophie gripping her knee, tears rolling down her cheeks, made every Fever fan question if this season could get any worse. With injury after injury, it seemed like the team was cursed. But then, out of nowhere, something incredible happened. The Fever defied all odds and pulled off the biggest comeback in their history, without their key defensive player. They relied purely on grit, heart, and determination. Hit that like button and drop comeback queens in the comments, because what happened was pure sports magic, a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
For 25 minutes, didn't look like we had any business beating this Connecticut Sun team. For 25 minutes, we looked like the worst team on the court. Defensive rotations, Marina hitting the three, Sanaya Rivers taking it to the rim, Tina Charles, Aaliyah Edwards, out-rebounding AB, Natasha Howard, but we came alive when we needed to come alive. We forced overtime. Kelsey Mitchell, back-to-back threes in OT. Lexi Holt, dagger three, putting the nail in the coffin.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. Yep. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. You never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes, and we will never be counted out, because that is worth gold. That is worth.
The moment itself was tough to watch. No need for slow-mo replays. Sophie's reaction told it all. This is a player known for her toughness and not backing down from a challenge. So when she immediately clutched her knee, tried to walk it off, and then crumpled to the floor in pain, it was a gut-wrenching sight. If you've been following the WNBA this season, you're familiar with Bria Hartley and her reputation. This is the same player who once pulled Angel Reese down by her ponytail. The enforcer who's been making questionable plays all season, without facing any real consequences. So when Hartley barreled toward the basket in the second quarter, it was no ordinary collision. She crashed into Sophie's planted leg like a wrecking ball hitting a wall. The force was excessive and left fans wondering, how long will officials let this reckless behavior slide before it leads to a serious injury?
She was on the ground. She was crying. She was yelling. It definitely seemed like she was in a ton of pain. The training staff went over to her. They went to commercial break. Like, it was a real injury. This wasn't something, and Sophie's the type of player, a lot of times when she does get injured, she just gets right back up. She tries to walk it off. This was something that kept her down, and it was so hard to see. It is ironic because Bria Hartley has been in multiple scuffles this year with the Connecticut Sun. A lot of people would categorize her as a dirty player.
She roughs house. And Kathy Engelberg, this is why I say you wonder why there's so many goddamn injuries all over the league, because you are allowing people to play rugby and football and do UFC moves in the middle of a basketball game. In the beginning of this game, Sophie Cunningham is bringing the ball up the floor. She gets mugged, hit upside the head, knocked to the floor while dribbling the ball up the floor 75 feet away from the rim. Do you think the refs called anything?
Both Sophie's sister, I believe, and her mother both tweeted about this play. Now, Lindsay, her sister, said, WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie. And then Paula, who I think is her mom, that's what the internet is saying, she said Hartley is a disgruntled player, having trouble everywhere she goes. She's plain mean and plays out of.
Didn't need replays to understand how serious the moment was. Sophie's reaction alone told the story. This is a player whose whole career is defined by toughness, resilience, and never backing down from physical play. So when she immediately clutched her knee, tried to hobble on one leg, and then fell to the floor in obvious pain, it was the kind of image that makes your heart sink. You knew instantly something major had happened. The sight of trainers and teammates carrying her off, unable to put weight on that leg, should have been the breaking point for Indiana, especially with a roster already hanging by a thread. But what makes this entire situation infuriating is the fact that it never should have happened. The injury was completely preventable. It only occurred because the WNBA has continually failed to punish players like Bria Hartley. All game long, officials turned away from cheap shots and dangerous plays. In the opening quarter alone, Hartley and her teammates were allowed to shove Sophie to the ground 75 feet from the basket without a whistle. When referees allow rugby-level collisions and MMA-style tactics to go unchecked, it's only a matter of time before someone pays the price. And today, that price was Sophie's health.
Connecticut Sun, by the way, if you guys have seen, they've done a lot. They have done a lot of reckless things in this game that haven't led to fouls. I don't think this is. I hope this isn't reckless. I can't rule out it being reckless. I hope it's not reckless. But at the same time, like, the referees, there were so many situations earlier on in the game that, in fairness, that the referees were letting away with. The referees thought, okay, yeah, let's tee up Sophie Cunningham straight away in the game, and that's keeping the game in control. But from minute one, the Connecticut Sun, like, how many times have the Connecticut Sun against the Fever dove through people's knees? Multiple times this team has.
You guys brag about how physical. You guys wear it like a badge of honor. We're here to watch basketball. If we want to watch wrestling, we'll watch wrestling. If we want to watch fighting, we'll watch fighting. We're here to watch basketball. And Bria Hartley is no different than Dejanay Carrington. It's just nobody talks about it because she's on the Connecticut Sun and they...
What makes this all the more frustrating is that Sophie Cunningham had essentially become the heartbeat of this Fever squad. While Caitlin Clark has been sidelined, she's been the one player consistently rising to the occasion, bringing energy, toughness, and the kind of defensive edge every playoff caliber team depends on. Since the All-Star break, she's been Indiana's most reliable presence, averaging more than 12 points per game, hitting over 50% of her shots from beyond the arc, and providing a leadership role you simply can't replace with a bench substitute. Losing her for any amount of time would be devastating for a team already clawing just to remain alive in the playoff chase.
Sophie Cunningham was by far, as the games went along, by a landslide, the best addition we had on this roster. From her play, her shot making, her defense, the intensity she brings, the energy,